Meet Hatcher Packs, the gear bag built to share every adventure. I want all of you now to think in your mind, ponder for just a second, visualize your most epic adventure, okay? Start thinking in your mind, and in 5 seconds, I'm gonna ask you to shout out some of your most epic adventures. I know we have gonna get some good ones, okay? Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let me hear them. Backpacking, kayaking. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cool? And isn't it? Adventures become even more awesome when you share them, right? So, when let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an ultramarathon runner. I'm a nurse practitioner and a viajadora mundial. Quería viajar todo el mundo. And so, when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I was like, she's coming with me. We are going. The adventures are not going to start. In fact, they're going to start. They're not going to stop. They're going to start, right? I had to figure out how she was going to keep up with me and how I was going to keep up with her. And that was the end of it. So I just started planning, purchasing. I was ready to go, right? So I was looking for the bag. And I thought, wow, there's a lot of glamorous leather bags out there, but that thing cannot get dirty. And then I started seeing some other backpacks, and they look like boxes strapped to ribbons. And I was like, there's no way we're going anywhere with that. This is so uncomfortable. So I thought, well, I'll just use my ultra marathon vest. Those are good. Those are, we got some good things going. But then I realized on my first hike with her, you got to carry her stuff, your stuff, and her. And I forgot the diapers because I was trying to get it on. There's a blow. It was just awful. So I was like, this is ridiculous. How am I going to solve this problem? And then I saw other people with my problem. Here they were at the airport, It's the mom. She's got her bag. She's got her baby. She's like, oh my gosh, how the heck? And I fly and throw in tears. So, I only carry one bag. Or the lady at the park, she's like, yeah, I got my wipes today. It's a good day. I got my diapers, but I forgot the baby carrier. How the heck am I going to keep up with the toddler on the monkey bars while I have my baby? Come on. And then, in hydration, you set your backpack, your diaper bag on the bathroom floor, and your water bottle, your Stanley cup just, falls right out. And you're just like, ooh. So I had to solve this problem. This is ridiculous. I'm an active mom, and I'm going to have an active baby, and we're going to have adventures together. And that's how it was going to be. So here's the solution. I'm going to show you how it works. It's the Hatcher Pack. And I'm going to show you how to put it on and how to assemble it, okay? So here you go. So you put on the backpack. It's really easy, and you fit it to yourself. Yes, there are hip straps that are adjustable for any cup size. And then you attach the attachment to the hip straps. So right here, click, click. And I did bring my baby today. Oh my God. She even slept through the night. You just put it right here. And there's one-handed buckles. So you can just, attach with one hand. There, you hear the click. You give the kiss. You put her in. And you know what? How many seconds did that take me? I wasn't they're timing me back there. It was exactly 17 seconds. That did not take long at all. I can pop her in, I can pop her out, and we're ready to rock and roll for any adventure, okay? Woo! So, isn't that awesome? How cool is that? So, let me show you some of my favorite features, okay? So here's the shoulder straps. They're ergonomic, and they're ready so that you can put your phone in there. So, hey, Instagram, I've got my Google Ads, I'm here, I'm going to take myself, I can go, and I can just put my pocket right here and ready to go. But there's also 2 other pockets for your keys and anything you need. Then there's breathable mesh, so your pack can breathe as much as you do. Your baby mesh is here, and then there's a back panel here that also has mesh. Then there's the tall water bottle pocket, so anything can fit in there and it's not gonna fall out. Also, you're gonna see there's a compartment for a bladder, so you can put your bladder in and then the reservoir comes through and you can just, drinks for you, drinks for me, we're ready to go. So, and then there's just a little ribbon so it can go in or it can go in this pocket. And then, you know, I'm a woman, I'm a business, I want to go to business, it looks classy, it's machine washable, and my laptop can just slide in, slide out, easy, ready to rock and roll, right? So that's the product. And it's something to care about, we need this, but I need to get a little more personal with you. As a practitioner, and you can see my personality, I love the outdoors, but when I became pregnant with my first daughter, I was shocked with the heaviness and the burden of postpartum depression. And it became more and more heavy the more pregnancies I have. And I have 4 kids, 6 and under. So just do the math, okay? I'm a real mom, and I realized that part of my treatment plan, the vital part was getting out. I needed to get outside. I needed Mother Nature to nurture me and my babies. And so I needed my Hatcher pack hanging up there every day reminded me that I could get out. I knew my babies and I, anytime, anywhere, it didn't matter if we were going to chase the butterflies or if we're going to the zoo or we're going to hike a mountain, we're going to the park, I was ready to go and I could do it. So this, in conclusion, Hatcher Packs is not just about a product. It's about a paradigm shift. Parenting, the adventures do not end when you become a parent. In fact, the best are just beginning. But just like any sport, you need the product to get you out there. You need the running shoes so you can go running. You need the rope so you can climb, and you need a Hatcher Pack so you can parent. You can get out there, okay? There's enough parents out there that know how to turn on the TV. We need more passionate parents that are ready to share adventures with their kids, despite what Siri and Alexa may be telling you. AI is not the way to parent your child. It's AE, actual experiences. Okay? So come join the pack with me. Hatcher Packs, it's the pivotal piece that we need as women to share our adventures with our children. They're here, they're with us, they need to be with us. They're a big part of our lives, and we wouldn't be the same without them. And we won't be the same without a Hatcher Pack.
How's it going, Molly? Good.
Great story, unbelievable enthusiasm. Thank you. Milma makes me want to have another kid. But speaking of which, just 2 things. 1, you sent me your financials, which is helpful. 2, you are part of a woman's journey for a very short period of time. So that it has its own challenges, right? Your product only going to be marketable to a subset of customers, and then you will have them for a subset of their lifetime. Have you thought about that and the challenges it brings to customer acquisition, as well as are there additional products you can have that would then, once they fall in love with the Hatcher Pack, they fall in love with the story, that they can graduate to their next pack when they have the toddler or they're on another section of their life?
Excellent question. Your family will never outgrow this pack. The carrying straps can tuck in here to the back panel or actually detach. So even when you do have a toddler, you're going to still need to have a pack or some sort so you can bring your bladder, your things. So I've had grandmas take this to Jerusalem, and I've had, just people. So the pack does grow with you. But from a purchasing financial standpoint, I do want people to come back and purchase more, right? Because this, I feel like like this could be the one thing that you would need for your whole childhood. Like when my girl's 19, I'm still gonna be taking my Hatcher pack because of like the ergonomic shoulder straps alone. But other products, if I would love to talk on that. We have different versions of this part because it can be different versus warm and cold weather, or sizing as well, or even the width of the base. So and also then the bag can also do with different colors and different designs and even fabric. So there's lots of versatility and coming, but also it is a product that if you invest in, it can go the lifetime.
Awesome. And I guess I just encourage thinking about product. I'm not the merchant, but for me, to get me into your ecosystem.
Right.
So
because like maybe you're not obviously gonna have a baby tomorrow, but
obviously.
Obviously. But maybe you're a grandma, or maybe you have.
To your financials,
Yes.
looks like good margins, healthy amount of marketing. I couldn't help but notice the insurance line was off the charts.
Yeah.
Is it because it's product liability because you have
A baby carrier?
Yeah.
It's a $5 million policy.
Yeah, so you have to really think about scale to even just cover that.
Yeah, but it's
fixed
good
expense.
for Title IX because
Yeah.
Title IX, you can't just take on a product like this.
I'm sure we'll be
without
additionally
liability.
insured and all of that. So,
Right,
okay, cool.
exactly.
Thank you.
So I can talk more about that too if you need to. Yes.
Renee got
The margins, but I don't. What are your margins?
50%
50% for D2C or wholesale?
for wholesale.
Wholesale.
Wholesale, yeah.
I wish I had one of these when I had a little guy. That was my most immediate question.
Okay.
Unlike Renee, I didn't have you send me your financials. So I am curious about what your marketing budget looks like, what % of either gross sales that looks like, and what some of your more successful marketing channels have been to date.
Certainly. So right now I'm pumping everything back into marketing. Okay. So all of my products, and the most successful things that we've had is actually getting real moms to use it and then share on Instagram. That's my very favorite. Because they just share, like, here I am with my kids going to the beach holding all my stuff. And you can see on this poster, like lots of it's user generated content. One of the most profound things that I love from my nurse practitioner part that surprised me, I wasn't planning, but a mom posted about her son who's in the NICU, and the Hatcher pack got her and her baby out because she could carry her baby in the fact, and then in the back they had the feeding tubes and the oxygen tank and everything, and that gave her the way to get somewhere that she wouldn't ever. And I've stayed with her for several years now and followed her, and so that's been the most
incredible
way,
story.
the best way. Yeah. So.
And are all of your ambassador or your partnerships organic? Are they paid? And if they're organic, how do you amplify those stories? And how do you see that scaling?
50, half and half. So half are organic, and then half are I have sought out bigger ones where I wanted them to tell me. So, yeah.
Tell me more about the fit. I mean, I love that you started with your hydration pack, but tell me how you kind of continue to iterate on the fit and just the process around that.
The fit of the backpack or the fit of the baby carrier?
Well, I guess all of it, because it feels like you've put together a bunch of different pieces.
Yeah.
And I remember carrying my daughter and taking her out on adventures is such an important part of my life. And I loved my ergo, but I'm just trying to think about, I'd love to hear more about how you cobbled together the different packs that you liked and then perfected the fit.
Yeah, I mean, that's really how I did it. This has gone through so many iterations, and I would just build it, do it, and then take my babies in it and be like, oh my gosh, like this is rubbing, the shoulder straps is one I've done over many, many, many times so that they are, scoop around, and, but my husband still loves it because it's really padded. All this weight it's just so cushy. And then also the hip straps so that you can use them without the carrier. So if you just want that extra connection, but also then to have the ingenious way of they just tuck in or come off. And then the breathability, this back panel, like you don't have to wear a baby for very long to realize like the body heat that it is. It's really hot. It's really hot. And so that was another thing that we had to put in, mesh, breathable mesh here, but then you have mesh here and then you have mesh here. So, and then it's machine washable. You can get that thing dirty.
Well, I love how you've thought through all the details. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, like every single inch we've done. Like even just to like right here, you can clip on a baby toy or a binky, or, like there's just so many pieces to this.
Nice.
I'm just curious. It looks like you guys have been in business for about 5 years, which is awesome. Congrats. That's a big hump to overcome. I'm curious how you show up in market, like what your distribution looks like between wholesale and D2C today, and what your sort of strategy is for maintaining balance or not balance, or
Yeah. So when I first started, my goal was retail. And then though, I had a really crazy experience with a big retailer and that did not work out. I can explain a little more. And so that really pushed me to say, no, I need to be more D2C. So right now my push is more D2C, but then having other retailers on the side. But I realized like, I can't just depend on the retailer was Bye Bye Baby. I got into a huge, I spent a year and a half developing that relationship. They promised $200,000 in sales and took $20,000 of my product. And then seriously, like a month later, they went bankrupt and said, sorry, we're done. We're not taking you anymore. And so I was counting on them to continue that, $200,000 at least that first year to kind of keep things going, and it takes a lot to get a vendor relationship set up, a lot more than I realized. And so I did that. I paid for the insurance, the $5 million policy, $15,000 as well. And so I put that all in, and then all of a sudden it was gone. They turned off their computers and it was done. And so I just realized, okay, I've got to, that's why I went to the D2C. But also I still I'm so impressed, and I've been admiring Title IX for years of okay, this is a retailer I can count on, and I really trust that this is a wholesale experience that's not going to end up like that. So yeah.
It won't.
Nice job.